All right, aloha, Tulsi Kratz, and welcome back to Save America, Vote Tulsi Gabbard. I am your flawed but humble host. My name is Dave, and this is our channel. This is my channel, but it's your channel, and I might give you all this channel because the revenue stream. Wow, I'm still demonetized from yesterday. So if you saw that video I did yesterday, still got the little gold dollar sign. What happens is you appeal these things and then you wait. And while you're waiting, people are watching your video. And they're not running ads on your video. And so you're not earning any revenue from the video. By the time you get monetized, people have stopped watching your video. I mean, if I were getting 50,000 views or some crazy number like Kim Iverson numbers, then it wouldn't be a big deal. But I'm getting 1,000, 2,000 views, and that's all my revenue. So, again, if you can help me out, I do have a little link here that goes over to Patreon. I have a music-based channel where I talk about classic rock bands, and you can kind of see all those people over there if you join and become a patron, and they'll be talking about, Fleetwood Mac and so forth. Just ignore that stuff, and if you want to say aloha or just, have a little communication, a little dialogue, we can go back and forth and chat. But for just like $1 a month, you can do that. Also, I will put a link to my PayPal email address, and I've gotten some really generous and humbling donations over there. It's been awesome. So I've never done that before where I've appealed directly to PayPal. That seems to be a good method. Everybody, by the way, takes a cut. PayPal will take a cut, a fee, service charge, whatever, and Patreon takes a big cut into the revenue at the end of the month. I don't know. Those are rackets. Those are kind of like the what do they call that? The loan payday places where if you have to take money to cover a bill for a week, and they'll give you a loan, and then you pay it back, and they get all of this additional money. It's way better than a bank. It's more lucrative than a bank. I want to talk here about this article written by Major Danny Segerson, antiwar.com. Again, another website that will get me demonetized. It's vets have finally turned on endless wars. Awesome. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to read a paragraph here. And this paragraph, I think, is very, it's illustrative because this is what Tulsi Gabbard went through. It's the same thing that Tulsi Gabbard went through. So he says, still, I believe either of us would have actually done it, even if it did mean the end of our respective careers. That's called brotherhood and love. Now, he's talking about himself and his friend Keith, who served in the Army. But then he goes on to say, I got to thinking on what I read, and it was a very disturbing, refreshing, and somewhat sickening all at the same time. A major opinion poll's results were released, and there's a link to it here, which demonstrated that fully 2/3 of post-9/11 veterans now think the Iraq wars, or the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, weren't worth fighting. That's an incredible thing. So 2/3 of the soldiers who are coming back are, they go on this mission and they think, okay, I'm going to serve my country. It's going to be great. Rah, rah, go America. And then they come back and they're like, why are we doing this? He writes, that's a remarkable and distressing statistic, and one that should give America's president, legislators, media, and people as a whole serious pause. Not that it will, mind you, but it should. It's doubtful that U.S. military combat vets who are more rural, southern, and conservative than the population at large have ever so incontrovertibly turned on a war, at least not since the end of Vietnam. And we've been doing this stuff for decades. Now, Tulsi Gabbard was asked the other day, and this is one of those gotcha questions. So, Tulsi, what war was justified? Can you think of a war recently that was justified? And she said, yeah, World War II. She gave the correct answer. All right. Most, I would say, normal or sane people would say World War II. There are some people that believe that we shouldn't have even been involved in World War II. I am not one of those people. I believe World War II was justified, but I believe everything since World War II has been just to prop up the military-industrial complex. Look, our economy is tied to the war machine. And people in different states, why do you think Elizabeth Warren, for instance, isn't going to buck the war machine? She's from a state where there's a huge military contractor, Raytheon, okay? And their stock, in all of the stocks of these companies that support the military-industrial complex, if we're sending troops somewhere, we're sending warships somewhere, their stocks go up. This is no way to run an economy. But this is exactly what we're doing. You know, there's that old statement about, follow the money, show me the money, follow the money. There's always money involved in just about anything. And that's why you need an economy that's not based on the military. But it is. And this major here spells it out. And he goes on, toward the end here, there's just another great paragraph. So consider this a plea to Congress, to the corporate media establishment, and to all of you. When even traditionally more conservative and martial military veterans raise the anti-war alarm, listen. And next time the American war drums beat, and they undoubtedly will, consider this article encouragement to do what Keith and I promised way back when. That is to object. These guys got into battle, they got to see what was going on, and they said, when we go back, we're going to tell the truth. Refuse to fight the next ill-advised and unethical war. Remember, a lot of people who join the military are economically disadvantaged people who think, well, a career in the private sector, I don't have the skill set, or I need to find a way out of poverty. Kids from the inner cities who are looking to just find a way out, and they look at the military as a way out. And it's a whole system that is almost, it's sad because everybody talks about corporate welfare and what other kind of welfare? Obviously welfare that normal citizens would receive, things like food stamps, but nobody ever talks about this kind of this is welfare. This is like, but it comes at a huge cost. This isn't like filling out a bunch of forms and standing in line somewhere. This could be your entire life. Yes, suit up for us so our military contractors can make big money. And so some guy with a 401k in South Florida, his portfolio looks really nice now thanks to the fact that you've suited up and gone into another one of these disastrous regime change wars. Why do you think it's so important that Tulsi Gabbard becomes president? Because I think she's the only one that's going to stick it to she's going to raise awareness, and she's going to get the people on her side. A lot of people say, well, you've seen what's happened with Trump. Trump, he got there, and then all of a sudden he just caved. Trump is more about Trump, and that's why he caved. Yeah, he's got instincts. He thinks he can win the next election if he kind of plays this good cop, bad cop thing with Pompeo and Bolton. But that's BS. That's garbage. That's not going to get us out of any war. What that is a dog and pony show. And people who are watching it are thinking, oh, well, Trump, he's decided that he's not going to go in to Iran. He pulled back with 10 minutes. That was all theater. It was all political theater to make his base think that, yeah, he's trying so hard to not be taken in by the military-industrial complex. You know where he lost me? He lost me when he sent the missiles over to Syria. Okay, that was number one. And number two, he lost me. He hired a warmonger by the name of John Bolton to work for his administration. And everybody, by the way, all of the resistors who want Trump impeached so they can have Mike Pence is John Bolton, people, okay? Never mind his religious stuff and, his Christianity. He's John Bolton. He and Bolton would sit in an office and go, so who do you want to bomb? This is going to be great for your poll numbers. Is that what you want? So, in any event, Major Danny here is 100% correct that veterans are turning. And that's why you see at Tulsi Gabbard events, you always see veterans in the front row. And you see Tulsi embracing these men and women for their service because they instantly have a connection because they've been into battle. They've actually seen what we're fighting for or not fighting for. And they've come home and they've said no more. This article is no more. Hey, media. Hey, Google. Hey, whoever else is out here. This is not good long term for a nation's survival. You cannot run the United States economy on the backs of these soldiers who are going out thinking that they're serving their country. And as he says here at the end, these guys are Southern, they're rural, they're the typical, stereotypical military person. And, now you've got women in combat, you've got all kinds of things that you didn't have before, and they're all going out thinking, hey, I'm serving my country. No, you're not. You're serving Wall Street. You're serving the military-industrial complex. You're serving military contractors, and you're serving rich guys who have big portfolios that have, a list of all of these companies that are on there. It's just padding their wallets, padding their financial future. Imagine doing that. This is where it's at. And a lot of people don't see this. It's too complicated to be explained in the mainstream media. The mainstream media, all they're going to do is just hit the drumbeat. Well, that those Iranians, very provocative, shooting down a drone, that was going over their territory. Imagine if we someone sent a drone over New York City. What are we going to do to that drone? Well, we're going to shoot it down. I'd say I'd be the guy to make the order. Yeah, shoot that drone down. Why are they sending a drone? That's a provocative action. And we're provoking. And then we're making them look like they're the provocateur, which is a bunch of crap. So you can easily get sucked in to this, America, we've got to, beat back, these countries that are in our way or taking our resources or whatever, or let's do humanitarianism like we tried down in Venezuela. See, Iran, they've been looked at for decades. We've brainwashed the people in our country to believe they're part of the evil axis, the evil empire, and so forth. And people pretty much wake up in the morning and believe that stuff. And it's demonstrably false. And again, it's mind your own business. Say they do have a dictator there who is doing, things that we believe are cruel and unusual to their own population. We can sanction, we can use diplomacy. There are a lot of things that we can do instead of sending troops in, all right? Or sending drones or doing whatever we're doing to disrupt and to provoke these countries. 9/11 happened because we were provocateurs. That's why 9/11 happened. And smarter people than me have come to that conclusion. So in any event, Tulsi Gabbard's foreign policy, right there. And that's why she had me at anti-war, and that's why you need to support the best candidate we've ever had running for president, at least in my lifetime, and you need to get over to her website to get her to 130,000 unique donations. So she's in this debate. She's in the third debate, and she can, like I say, she can get so much momentum out of a debate with fewer candidates on the stage and getting closer to the primaries, in the fall where people are paying attention, they're not on vacation. It's a great opportunity. for Tulsi Gabbard's message to be heard by Americans and military personnel who are clearly tired of endless war. All right, so I'm done with this one. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to support me on Patreon and also through email, which I will provide the link in the description of this video for PayPal transactions. Aloha. See you soon.